Alright, so do a brief tutorial on the parries in Mortal Shell. Your parry button here. L1 or, left bumper or whatever you're using for a controller. As you can see that flicker, so that's essentially your parry frame kind of duration right there and how wide of a stance you have. You have to line that flicker up with the active parryable frames on the enemy's attack pattern. And they'll start as soon as the enemy's attack starts swinging towards you, so the weapon has to be in a state in which it can deal damage to your character. So obviously during the wind-up, that's not the case. Now you need Resolve to do reposts, which we have right now 4 bars of. It'll cost 1 bar per repost, which will also regenerate your health on the repost, a certain percentage. So if you don't have any Resolve, getting a parry will give you 1 bar of Resolve, which you can then use on the next parry. So you won't be able to apply it to that parry that gave you the Resolve. So worst case scenario, you have to do 2 parries in a row to get 1 repost. No big deal. Now when you don't have Resolve, you actually have less parry frames on your parry item. So that flicker won't be there. So we'll demonstrate that in a moment. So first off, let's get a standard parry here, if I can. So as the enemy started to swing towards me, I went ahead and grabbed the parry, like so. So now we're going to go ahead and waste our Resolve up here. Oh, we got to waste some more with another parry. So let's get 1 more parry to waste the rest of it here. Oops. Alright. So Resolve is now officially wasted, right? Alrighty. So let's go ahead and find another enemy to then parry. So as you can see, I didn't land that one quite as smoothly because the parry window is a lot smaller now with no Resolve. As you see, when I use the item, there's no flicker on it now. So it's a very small window, only a few frames. But still very possible. Now you can see I regenerated my 1 bar of Resolve. And I'll grab my Visceral to get my health back. There you go. You also regenerate Resolve from just general melee output to enemies, but it takes a little while. Some enemies have like a grunt or like an audio cue you can also use. That'll go off right before the active parry frames start. So right there I missed all those parries. Again, no Resolve, so the window is tiny. Gotta take that practice. Okay. So if you listen to this enemy, he's kind of got that grunt that goes on his wind-ups. And if there's not a parryable attack, you see how that flickered red? That lets you know the next attack coming in is not parryable. Assuming you're locked onto the enemy. It doesn't necessarily tell you if you're not locked onto the enemy. So if I listen to his wind-ups here. You hear that audio cue? He kind of grunts, letting you know the attack's coming. And right at the end of that grunt's when the forward momentum starts on the weapon. Giving you a nice heads up on when the parry window's going to start. Okay. So you can use that for various enemies. A lot of them do have audio cues. But again, if you really want to just pay attention to the animation of the attack, you can tell when the attack starts to swing towards your character after the end of the wind-up. And go ahead and punish. So we'll go ahead and grab a couple more parries here. Just to demonstrate. Now you can also parry an enemy behind you, like I just did there, to demonstrate. So basically, as long as your parry timing is correct, it doesn't matter if you're locked on to another enemy. If you want to have crowd control potential, or stop an enemy attacking you, you can parry that way. You don't have to be locked on at all. You could also be looking the other direction. As long as your timing is accurate, you can go ahead and parry just about any way you want to, given proper timing, spacing, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's the gist of the parry, and you can parry pretty much anything that you want to parry, and obviously, again, it'll flicker red if it's an unparryable attack, so keep that in mind. And that's the gist of the parry tutorial.